Hello and welcome to Madeleine at the Movies, the Golden Days film review segment, designed to make you feel a little more informed when it comes to choosing what to watch next. I'm Madeleine Swain. You may have been aware of a controversy last month at the BAFTAs, the British equivalent of the Academy Awards, when Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo were handing out the BAFTA for visual effects. Racial slurs could be heard from the audience, which clearly shocked Jordan and Lindo, but they handled the situation with admirable restraint. The whole thing, though, was regrettable to say the very least. And it was all exacerbated by the BBC not cutting out the words during its broadcast, and the apology that was offered also finding criticism. The slurs were delivered by John Davidson, a man who has had Tourette's syndrome since childhood, and clearly he was not at fault personally. But apart from the harm to the presenters concerned, one of the other unfortunate knock-on effects is that the debacle threatens to overshadow the film that Davidson was at the awards to support. He was there because he was the inspiration for a film called I Swear, the latest film from English writer-director Kirk Jones. Now, Jones has had an interesting career. He kicked it off in style with Waking Ned in 1998, a film that was only second to the Blair Witch Project at the box office that year, when you take budget into account. He followed that up with Nanny McPhee, the success of which sent him to Hollywood, where he made Everybody's Fine, then the plodding would-be crowd pleasers, What to Expect When You're Expecting, and My Big Fat Greek Wedding 2. Nearly 10 years after that, he's made his sixth film, and it's not just a return to form, it's a film that could be the apogee of anyone's career. I Swear is one of those films that just works on so many levels. It's funny, it's heartbreaking, and it throws a spotlight on an issue that hasn't received a huge amount of attention or understanding either in life and certainly not in the cinema. The film is the life story of the aforementioned John Davidson, a man diagnosed with Tourette's at an early age, who then faced a life of misunderstanding at best, hardship and then abuse and bullying at worst, before becoming a wonderful advocate and activist, helping to raise awareness and comprehension of the condition. John is played in the film by Robert Aramayo, an actor you may recognise from his work as an elf in the Tolkien-based TV series The Lord of the Rings of Power. But even if you do know him from that, this is another kettle of fish altogether. A quite extraordinary performance that may well leave you hitting Google to find out if he actually has lived experience of Tourette's. He plays the adult John Davidson, but there's also a wonderful performance from Scott Ellis Watson as the young John. Surrounding these two pivotal portrayals are a trio of much better-known actors, all giving some of their best-ever performances. I personally have often found Maxine Peake a little off-putting, nothing really to do with her commitment, it's purely a personal reaction. But here she plays Dottie, a really important character in John's life, the mother of a school friend who became one of the first people to really understand John and support him, literally opening her home and her heart so that he had somewhere to live where he was loved unconditionally. Peter Mullen, one of those actors who can play villain or angel, utilises his warm, grizzled and gruff exterior to marvellous effect as Tommy, another in John's life who sees beyond the tics and outbursts to recognise the humanity beneath. And then there's Shirley Henderson, in the less sympathetic role of John's mother, a much more difficult part to pull off, but she finds the truth in the character. Honestly, I don't think I can find a single negative thing to say about I Swear. I found it one of the most gripping and moving and powerful films I've seen in a while, and certainly this year. Highly recommended. I Swear is rated MA, clearly for the frequent, very colourful language. It runs for 120 minutes and opens this Thursday, the 26th of March. Also new to our cinemas is the latest IMAX film, Shark Kingdom 3D, which aims to show how the ocean's apex predator navigates its place in the world, how it survives and how it thrives. Directed by Dave Juice, David Gross and Amelia McCartan, it exhibits some miracles of filming. Sharks are not easy creatures to get up and close and personal to, but it's the vision that is the main selling point of the film. Because despite the range of filming locations from the Bahamas to the Cook Islands to the waters off New Zealand, Shark Kingdom 3D may show whaler sharks, black-tip reef sharks and great whites and more, but I'm not convinced there's much revealed about them and the way they interact with each other and the rest of the ecosystem that is not already pretty well known. While it's always fascinating to be taken, safely, beneath the waves to follow these extraordinary characters around for a while, I did come out of the film wanting something a little more. Shark Kingdom 3D runs for 45 minutes, is exempt from classification as it comes under that educational banner, and is screening in IMAX now. And that's all from me for this time. Madeleine at the Movies was produced and edited by Blair Purvis. Stay safe and well, and thanks for listening.